a really good player. I watched every snap this year. He's one of the best I've ever seen do it. He's doing something that no one's ever done in college. I'd say even pro football and high school football.
He's just really good at football.
But that's my question. Do you have Travis winning the Heisman?
Yes. I was saying this 2 weeks ago, and I hate to be that guy.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter is the first player to take a hold of college football.
Yeah.
He's the first player since Johnny Manziel.
Travis Hunter is debatably the best wide receiver and cornerback in college football. He was the #1 recruit in not one but 2 separate classes, and he's even so good that the award committee is worried that he can win all the awards, so they're even keeping his name off of some ballots. But was it because of something he's done? Has there ever been a player like Travis Hunter before? Is there any competition for him, or is he a lock to win the Heisman Trophy? Most importantly, how did Travis Hunter become possibly the best college football player of all time? We had so much success on Thanksgiving with the Prize Picks free square. If you follow me on Instagram, then you would have seen my pick of Tyreek Hill, Jonnu Smith, and David Montgomery, which hit for a 5x return. Our square of Josh Jacobs and Devon Achane also converted. And my favorite part about this is getting DMs like this. One of my followers made $225 out of my picks on Thanksgiving. And I got many more DMs of you guys hitting with my picks as well. If you haven't signed up for Prize Picks, click on my link in the description or use my promo code Mikerophone to get $50 when you make an entry of $5 or more. We're going to be making picks for the rest of the season for the NBA and NFL, and I give away my picks for free on Instagram and Snapchat. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Travis Hunter was the #1 recruit in all of football, coming out of high school in Sewanee, Georgia, and originally decided to commit to Florida State, similarly to Deion Sanders. But he decided to decommit and commit to Jackson State just so he could be coached by Deion Sanders and play with Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I think because of yesterday, if I was a Power 5 conference school president, Deion Sanders would be my #1 call if my head coaching job opened up. What he did yesterday in flipping that young man, who some people are saying like he's the next Charles Woodson.
Now, at the time, this was seen as insane. The #1 player in the entire country decided to decommit from a power school like Florida State and play for an FCS program. This is because if he went to Florida State, they would have likely forced him to play either receiver or cornerback. And unfortunately, Travis Hunter just couldn't make up his mind. In the very beginning of his collegiate football career, Hunter would play decently for Jackson State, but honestly would put up mediocre numbers. But you could blame this on the fact that he missed 5 games with injury, on top of the fact that he was a true freshman. But that doesn't change the fact that he had less than 200 yards receiving the entire season. So at this point, the whole concept of Travis Hunter playing as an Iron Man was seen as a bit of a gimmick. But after his freshman season, he would change everything. Hunter would enter the transfer portal and became the #1 recruit in football yet again, before following both of the Sanders to Colorado. Right when you think things were looking up, people started to doubt Travis Hunter even more. It was obvious how talented Travis Hunter was, but was playing both sides of the ball taking away from his true potential. Bear in mind that playing on both sides of the ball means that your snap count goes up, the likelihood of injury goes up, and your ability to hone in on one particular position and master that position also decreases. There's also questions of whether or not this could translate in the pros. But in the meantime, Hunter would begin to really make his name at Colorado, finishing second on the team in both touchdown receptions and receiving yards while tacking on a team-leading 3 interceptions on the defensive side of the ball. Therefore, Hunter earned All-American honors this year for his efforts on both sides of the gridiron, but a narrative was starting to form about him. People said that although he was good, he wasn't elite on either offense or defense. Maybe, just maybe, it would benefit him to pick either wide receiver or cornerback so he could focus on just one skill set. Even his own quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, was favored to win the Heisman Trophy over him in the preseason. In fact, Travis Hunter wasn't even on the betting list, according to Sports Illustrated, but then everything would change.
But people are going to say, oh, you know, he can play both ways. And I said, you can't, because you got to be in defensive meetings, offensive meetings. Like, you can't be 2 places at one time, or could he?
It only took 1 game for Travis Hunter to completely set the college football world ablaze. Hunter caught 7 balls for 132 yards and a hat trick of 3 touchdowns, including a 41-yard 100-yard touchdown. But this was a fluke, right? Colorado was playing North Dakota State, which granted is a top Division II school, but they're just that. A Division II school Colorado almost lost to. But then Travis Hunter shut up the haters. He had another 100-yard game and another and another. And after 4 games, Travis Hunter had accumulated 4 100-yard games in a row, including 5 touchdown receptions, and on the other side of the ball, recorded a few passes defended and an interception. Just that, right? Just a few passes defended and a pick? Okay, sure. Now he has developed into an elite wide receiver, but you might be thinking that he's just a mediocre defensive back. Let's take a look at Travis Hunter's 4th game with over 100 receiving yards against Baylor. Despite the fact that he had over 130 yards receiving, the biggest impact he made was on defense. On the final play of the game, Baylor had the ball on the 1-yard line with a chance to send the game into double overtime. And with one play, Travis Hunter changed everything.
It's Richardson. Ball's out. Ball is out. Ball is out. Recovered.
After this, Travis Hunter's 100-yard receiving streak finally came to an end against UCF after recording just 89 yards on 9 receptions and a touchdown. But when you consider this is a down game for him, it begins to put into perspective just how much better of a receiver Travis Hunter had become over the offseason. But during this same time, he was still developing and becoming the best cornerback in the country. I mentioned that because although his 100-yard streak came to an end against UCF, he recorded one of the craziest interceptions you'll ever see. Just look at this play. As the ball is thrown, Travis Hunter literally covers 10 whole yards in the matter of a second to grab the game-sealing interception. This seemed like it was the climax of Travis Hunter's season. He was proving how dominant he was on both sides of the ball and that nobody could stop him, or at least it had seemed like that. The very next game against Kansas State, Travis Hunter had his worst game to date, getting shut down for 26 yards on 3 receptions and recording 0 defensive stats before leaving the game at halftime with an injury. But you might be thinking that's just one game. He just had one bad game this entire season and he got injured early in that game and was set to play in the next game. So therefore, he's still having a dominant season on both sides of the ball, right? Well, in the very next game, he'd have 17 yards, 2 receptions, and 1 tackle against Arizona before missing the entire second half with another injury. It was over. The snap count had finally caught up to him and the Heisman campaign that Travis Hunter was on had come to an end, especially since just down the road in the Mountain West Conference, Ashton Jeanty was putting up rushing numbers that we hadn't seen since Barry Sanders.
His size, he's not a special size, and I don't see him as like a super dynamic route runner. He's just one of those, he's a great athlete and he's smooth, but as a receiver, I just think he'd kind of blend.
But then came the next game against Cincinnati. Bang! 9 catches, 152 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a career-high 4 passes defended. But not only that, Colorado also became ranked, moving up to number 23 in the nation, and their race for the expanded college football playoff was back on. Next week, bang! Another 100-yard day on 9 receptions and a touchdown against Texas Tech. Things were starting to heat up back for Hunter, but Jeanty was still putting up ridiculous numbers himself. And if you think he's the real Heisman, don't worry, there'll be another video coming out detailing his Heisman case this upcoming week. And if this video gets to 3,000 likes to show us that you guys want that video immediately, we'll put it at the top of the priority list and get it to you guys even sooner. But back to Travis Hunter. The following week, he would continue his run of dominance on both sides of the ball. Another interception, his 3rd of the season. Travis Hunter was back. His Heisman campaign was more alive than ever before. But then against Kansas, he made what people were saying was his best case for the Heisman Trophy so far. Travis Hunter had done it yet again. Hunter had put up 125 yards on 8 receptions, 2 touchdowns, a pass defended, and 7 total tackles. Colorado had lost the game, but you certainly can't say it was because of a man who filled up the box score more than anyone else in college football history. That was it. That was Travis Hunter's magnum opus of a game. But then this happened.
Backside pressure, got it away. Picked off at the 30.
But it wasn't just on defense. Look at what he would do next.
Sanders on the slant. Hunter.
And that wouldn't be the only offensive highlight.
Rolling out. Fires. Touchdown.
And then Travis Hunter finished off the game by doing this.
Up top into the end zone.
Just when you thought that Travis Hunter had his best game, he followed it up with an even better, more dominant performance than the last. In case you were wondering, that's 10 receptions, 116 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns, an interception, a tackle, and 2 passes defended. I mean, this guy is just unreal. There's no other way to describe Travis Hunter. He is simply not human. After the game, his head coach and fellow two-way player Deion Sanders had this to say about Travis Hunter.
I think Travis clinched the Heisman with his performance. I think he made a lot of people aware of how ignorant there was with the Thorpe.
The award that Coach Prime is referring to is the Thorpe Award, which is given to the country's best defensive back. Travis Hunter was debatably the nation's best cornerback, but despite this, he wasn't named a finalist for the award. Not the winner, but a finalist, which honestly makes no sense. According to PFF, Travis Hunter not only finished as the 5th best graded wide receiver, but the #1 overall graded cornerback. To back that up, just look at Hunter's stats and coverage. Across 343 coverage snaps, he has been targeted just 34 times, which is less than 10% of the time, making him one of only 2 FBS players with such a low target rate. In addition, in 11 games, he has been targeted 2 times or less in 6 contests, allowing only 20 receptions for 187 yards. Hunter has surrendered the fewest first downs of any cornerback nationally, with just 6. Furthermore, he has allowed only 1 touchdown and 5 plays of 15 yards or more. His tackling efficiency is equally remarkable, as he has stopped the receiver on 19 of the 20 receptions he has allowed. There was no other reason to keep him off of the Thorpe finalists list unless the committee just didn't want him to win it. It's that simple. Travis Hunter is a finalist and is likely to win the Walter Camp, Maxwell, Bednarik, Lot Impact, Hornung, and Biletnikoff awards.
He should have the Thorpe, the Biletnikoff, and the Heisman all on his shelf at home in the spring. It's just they don't want to give him everything. They don't want it to be a clean sweep.
Despite this controversy, Hunter is the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy, and this race might seem close on paper as Ashton Jeanty is putting up the best rushing season since Barry Sanders. And remember, we'll have another video coming out detailing his Heisman Trophy argument, but Travis Hunter isn't just the odds-on favorite to win the award, he is a minus 10,000 favorite to win the Heisman. That is just a crazy lock, but rightfully so. Nobody has ever done the things that Travis Hunter has done, ever. He is the first player in FBS history to record 100 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception in 1 game. Travis Hunter is literally doing stuff in real life that you can't do in college football 25 games because the developers thought it was unsustainable and unrealistic. Some are calling him the Shohei Ohtani of football. Even the comparison to Charles Woodson isn't good because he was a full-time cornerback and a part-time wide receiver in college. Travis Hunter is a full-time wide receiver and cornerback, and has logged over 1,300 snaps so far this season, and will probably add on to that total when Colorado plays in their bowl game. Travis Hunter is without a doubt an anomaly, a one of one, the most unique player of all time, an absolutely dominant player on both sides of the football. Travis Hunter isn't just the best football player in America, but Travis Hunter is the Heisman Trophy winner and possible #1 overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. If you disagree with this take, let me know in the comments section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.